Hello and welcome. Is there a political fallout of COVID handling in Goa with assembly elections just 6 months away? Now let us move to topic of this week. Is there a political fallout of COVID mismanagement? Is 6 months a too long time in politics? And although public memory is short, whether public grief is also momentary. I have 4 panelists joining me today. Independent MLA Rohan Khaunte. Rohan, welcome. Congress spokesperson Amarnath Panjikar. Amarnath, welcome. Goa convener of the Aam Aadmi Party, Rahul Mamre. Rahul, welcome to the show. And last and most important on this panel, from the ruling dispensation, BJP spokesperson Subhash Phaldesai. Rohan, I'll start with you. Is there a political fallout of such kind of mismanagement? Or when it comes to voting, our people look at voting differently, elections differently, and such kind of administrative issues differently?
I think the pandemic has come throughout the world. Each country, each state has handled it in the way they could. We should have learned from the first wave. The first wave was a good learning experience. Inexperience, immaturity, indecisiveness, and weak leadership is what the Goans have faced as music to their lives. What we see today is absolutely chaotic situation just because of all this mismanagement which has occurred. Wherever there were solutions, they were politicized. Whichever solution could be given to save a life was not taken because they had some political differences. Although we as MLAs have been quite responsive from day one, from the first wave. I wouldn't call it a wave. I would say the first corona pandemic which struck Goa. From that time, before that, I have been vocal that we need to start safeguarding and what precautions we need to take. From there, we came to the second part of the corona pandemic. Instead of learning, we have created mistakes. Mistakes were identified by opposition strongly. It might be Congress, it might be Goa Ford, it might be Aam Aadmi, it might be independent, whoever. But all of them gave suggestions in their own way or criticized the government, which it should have been a learning. Manor Parikar is to always say one thing, is to say that opposition needs to be vocal so that the ruling understands where the gaps are and what mistakes they are making and maybe they can correct some mistakes. Not they did correct everything, but they could at least try to do it. Here we have had everything which is politicized. Tika Utsav coming here, Tika Utsav 1, Tika Utsav 2, Tika Utsav 3. I think these are all political gimmicks.
Rahul, same question. When it comes to handling of COVID, do you think there are any political fallouts or political takeaways or political brownie points that can be scored? Or our electorate considers election is a different dynamic and COVID or administrative issues as a different dynamic?
Pramod, just to take away from what Rohan said, I completely agree with him. All the parties, the opposition party, MLAs have been making suggestions to the government about this corona thing, how to fight about it. But not a second we found Pramod Sawant or the health minister taking these suggestions positively. Now coming to a question about this, how the electorate takes it. Now if you go back to 2017 itself, the voters decidedly said they didn't want the then government of BJP. But then we all know how the situation changed over there. The people mandate was completely betrayed and we had BJP into the power to the back door. Now again, the verdict of the people, I'm decisively sure that it would be against the BJP, the way they have handled the situation. Take for example, for them, this corona is nothing but an election campaign sort of. I say so because if you see the kits which they are distributing, they have got photographs of Pramod Sawant and the health minister. The Tika Utsav, it's entirely funded by the taxpayers' money. It's done in government premises. The vaccine is administered by a nurse who is paid by the government for the taxpayers' fund. But the BJP party is taking mileage out of it. So somehow they're trying to milk it out for their own election gimmicks sort of. And I'm sure people of Goa will teach them a decisive election in the forthcoming elections. So we are sure about that.
Yeah. Amarnath, how do you look at it? Is there a political fallout of the way COVID situation was handled, or politics is different and such administrative issues are different?
See, we believe that the government should be responsible, government should be sensible, and government should be effective. But what we see, government in Goa under the leadership of Dr. Pramod Sawant, this government is insensitive and defective. This government is without any vision. This government is without any direction. This government is weak and their leadership is weak in Goa. Chief Minister himself is weak, and that's how it has been mishandled. This COVID-19 pandemic has been mishandled, mismanaged, and they only did politics.
Subhash Bab, how do you react to these opinions? Because one thing, do you think, number one, the way COVID situation was handled has put BJP on a weak wicket, or you feel that all is well, this has no political implication?
To be very frank, the situation that has arisen when nobody has predicted that this kind of wave will come and it will, thrash the Goa or other states. If you look at the data from all over the country, all the states, considering the Delhi state itself, how they have handled and what is their data and economics or statistics today, look at that. Which is the state which has performed best? Initially, Goa government may have some problems. It is natural when you do not know, you do not predict what is going to happen, and you cannot create such a big infrastructure when there is a capacity of 200. You just cannot build a 2,000 within 15 days time. But if you look at the way our chief minister handled this situation, our health minister handled this situation, and they have come out of this problem. The states you are referring to are still struggling to get out of this. In this, if you look at our state, our statistics, you will find that our beds are today available. If you know, the COVID beds are available. The total availability is 2018, but we have only 750 14 beds occupied. Oxygen beds, if you look at it, we have enough 1,000 oxygen beds as of today. Within a short span of time, the government of Goa, particularly Chief Minister Dr. Sawant, has performed very well. And if you look at on the ground, the way we have handled, the Karyakartas of BJP are handling the situation at the ground level, at the booth level, or at the centers, wherever, PHC or wherever, the centers, we, our own Karyakartas, guided by our dynamic chief minister, we move on to the centers. We try to get vaccinated every possible. We try to get the people from our own vehicles, drop them and pick them and get the things vaccinated. But if you look at all those people who are crying for all such things, where are they on the ground?
Okay, fair enough, Subhash Bhai, very, very important. I'll go to Rohan and then I'll go to Rahul. Rohan, same question. Do you think the way situation was handled has put BJP on a weak wicket?
Pramod, I think on a lighter note, Subhash is aspiring to be the Sangam MLA very soon. The government in power has failed. The people in the government has failed to show their leadership qualities at a time which was crucial for Goa. And I don't have to say it. The same MLAs and the same ministers from his same own party are talking about how COVID was mismanaged and how things could have been better. Secondly, if everything was organized, why did the High Court intervene and give directions to the government? If High Court had given, was not to be involved and the government had taken right directions, I don't think High Court could have given such directions sometimes for the government to redo what they have done wrong. The oxygen part was a failure for which we know about 75 deaths were recorded. But before those 4 or 5 nights, how many more nights people have lost for their lives because of oxygen, we don't know.
I am really appalled at the argument put forth by Subhash Bab, saying that government has done a terrific job. In fact, if you recall, just before the start of this wave...
And he says that your government in Delhi has done a terrible job.
I'll come to that also.
Yeah.
So, really the argument, I recall Sadanand Tanade also coming and patting back of CM that you have done a good job. It's a real time. This government has to apologize to the people of Goa for the dark hours at the GMC. Coming to the issue of his Karyakartas distributing, I've never seen them, neither the Karyakarta nor the MLA. I question them. If Aam Aadmi Party could provide oximeters to the people isolated, the kits were in short supply. The government did not have it, nor did the pharmacists. If we could provide and procure and give it to the people of Goa, why did the government fail with so much budget resources and all? Where did it go? Now, coming to the Delhi part, it's well known that oxygen had to be supplied by the central government. Even in Goa, there was a press conference addressed by Vishwajit Rane where he said the central government had to provide oxygen to Goa as well. So it is similar situation in Delhi as well, where the central government under Modi's leadership completely failed in providing the oxygen support system to the hospitals over there. So there where it's like, if this oxygen had to be provided much earlier, we would have been in a better state.
Amarnath,
Yeah.
do you think the way this pandemic and specifically these 2 months were handled, they have put BJP on a weak wicket?
See, this BJP government and their office bearers already tried to create a fake Achhe Din by saying show must go on, but actually they did nothing. They did only business from sickness. In Konkani, there is saying, मड्याचेर वडे खावपी. In Marathi, there is saying, आजाराचा बाजार केला. So this government actually have not done anything. This BJP office bearers, this government, they just praise themselves and they say we have done this much, that much. So why our people were struggling? Why our people died? Why people did not get oxygen? If this government was effective and it is effective, then why oxygen was sent to Sindhudurg when oxygen was required to our patient, our brothers and our sisters? Why a defective kit was supplied to home isolation where there were oximeters were failed, they were not working, they were faulty.
Subhash Bab, very candidly, do you think people are happy? People are praising the government right now for the way this government handled the situation in last couple of months?
Okay, if you look at a month back, people were really not happy with the administration or whatever, for whatever purpose, because the infrastructure was not to that extent. But over a period, if you look at it, if you go in any of the state, all those states ruled by opposition or say Congress or Aam Aadmi Party, and you analyze the statistics and the data, what they have, what are the deaths which are taking place, what is the fatality rate, how many cases are still active, and what are the procedures that they have followed, and what are the advertisement costs. If you look at the Delhi government, the Arvind Kejriwal, on every channel you will find big advertisements, what we call it as they provide assistance of 25 rupees and make an advertisement of 100 rupees. Is it the way they are going to? They will go to a village taking one oximeter and advertising it. How much does it cost for one oximeter? And look at their advertisements, look at their press conferences, what really they have done. If you look at our in the BJP ruled, the constituencies, you will find every MLA, every minister has provided for ambulance. Can you show anybody else doing all these jobs?
Subhash Pallesai is saying that the enormity of the situation was such that no government, no state government in the country could cope up with it. Nobody passed with flying colors. So why are you singling out only Goa government and criticizing them?
The problem with this present dispensation is no thinking, no vision, what Amarnath said. What did I say? I said there was a learning. From day one, Goa is a population of just 15 lakh people, if we take into consideration. When we had the end of the first wave and when we were coming in the second wave, the thought was you need to pick up the best practices. The country operates a part of federalism, where cooperative, competitive, all these things come in between. So you cannot compare the practices which may not be good in other states. You need to pick up the good practices of the other states. When we had this issue coming up, MLAs, ministers of this same ruling government were on record that economy is before lives do not matter much. Economy comes before. We were of the opinion that tourism shouldn't start. Quarantine tourism, second home tourism, everything Goa has suffered in the first jolt. We shouldn't make this a repetitive mistake. Unfortunately, that time the chief minister also was on record that economic we cannot compromise. There were ministers and MLAs in the government who Subhash should now acknowledge that they were the ones who said, let us start with it, which was the most stupid decision when other states neighboring, whether it was Karnataka or Maharashtra, had put their borders, they had closed down their borders, we had kept our borders open. If you had seen Goa, and even if you see today, I do not want to make a comparative statement, but whether it's MH, RJ, GJ, KA, these vehicles you will find in par with GA registration vehicles.
Rahul Mamre, respond to that, what Subhash Pal is saying. He is saying, why are you
I
singling out government of Goa?
Yes,
No
I'm glad.
government performed great. Everybody was completely caught unprepared. So why are you only blaming government of Goa?
I'm glad Subhash is picking up Aam Aadmi Party government of Delhi. She should be aware that Goa has a dubious distinction of having the highest positivity rate in India. It was almost 51%. At this moment also, it's not come much less. It's around 30-35. Delhi positivity rate is 5% now. At the same time, COVID was there, pandemic was there across India. It's then what measures the government takes to help out people. Now, Delhi government was the first government which initiated compensation to the COVID victims. Goa government, Pramod Sawant, has declared compensation on 30th of May. Till today, we don't have any idea when it's being declared. Are they waiting for the eve of elections to give them the checks of compensation?
Amarnath,
Yeah.
you know what Subhash Faldesai is saying. Even your governments in other states did not perform very well. So why only blame Pramod Sawant government? That's his question.
Okay, now, right now we are in Goa. We are Goans. So we should be worried about our state. Don't try to compromise this, what Delhi did or what Rajasthan did, what MP did, what UP. We are in Goa. We are worried about Goans because many have lost their life. Many lost their loved ones. And because of this BJP's inefficiency, because of this defective CM and defective government, people have lost their life because of lack of oxygen, because of lack of medicine, the lack of beds, availability of beds. I want to ask few questions to Subhash. First question: from 5th August 2020 till 22nd May 2021, why 67 deaths were not registered from private hospitals? Why oxygen was supplied to Sindhudurga when our own patient from Goa required the oxygen? I want to ask Subhash why Goa government accepted that tablet, ivermectin tablet, without approval of World Health Organization, without consulting Indian Medical Association. They wanted to make Goa as a testing lab. They wanted to make Goans as a guinea pig. Why this was happening?
Okay. Amarnath, yes, very important point. Subhash Bab, respond to that. They are saying that we are a population of 1.5 million. Comparing Goa situation with other states is not fair. We could have managed ourselves in a far better way. Rather than that, we became the highest positivity rate state in the country and probably in the world. So don't you think there is a political fallout? People are not going to forget this, and your party will have to face the music for the way that month was handled? Or are you so confident a month later that you feel that you come out with flying colors, that 1 month was a problem, you gathered your wits, gathered the infrastructure within that 1 month, and now people are saying that you are doing a good work? Is that what you are saying?
No, not exactly, but if you look at the statistics, the 65% of Goan population, they have undergone the test. Can you tell me any of the state in India whether they have achieved this rate? Naturally, when we test more, likely the active cases are likely to record more. So that is not that is not the point, that we are more positive and the rate of positivity is more here. When you go in the deep villages with all the infrastructure for testing purpose, we will find more and more, so that the recovery rate as of today, if you look at it, 95%. Why is that happen? It's only because of at the early stage we got the testing done, we have worked on it, they have got the proper treatment. It's because of that recovery rate is very good now. And look at the deaths from 80 to now 13, 14 in a day, and days to come it will go towards zero. So this is how the government of Goa has done really good. And if you look at the economy of that, He was saying that from 5th of August to this and that, all those dates, written dates, he is bringing out and questioning the government. See, the government is a continuous process, and
It is not about economics. It is about death of 67
I understand.
Goan.
I
That it
understand.
is
Let me
not about
complete
you.
first,
You
my
have
brother.
not
Yeah,
understood.
Amarnath,
You
let
have
Subhash
not.
Bab
Let me
complete.
complete
Amarnath, let
it.
Subhash Bab complete. Yeah, Subhash Bab, go ahead.
So,
He's talking about economics. It is not economic. It is death of
Yeah, Amarnath,
67.
point taken. Amarnath, point taken. Let Subhash Bab
see,
complete. Yeah.
see, in this period also, look at the state where the Maharashtra government, let us say, what is the situation today and how many deaths they have recorded so far. And look at the what is going on in the villages, whether the testing, you show me the testing percentage of that Maharashtra state and compare those statistics, analyze that. You make a comparative statement how fast we got a recovery in all these situations, and you compare the other states. So just uh, uh, just criticizing doesn't work.
Yeah.
This is not
Pramod,
criticism. This is
Subhash
I,
this
Bab,
is a
Pramod, I hate
fact.
to say this. Is
He has
Pramod
not
Sawant
answered.
CM on
He has not
Sawantwadi?
answered my question. He has not answered my question. I was asking him about 67 unregistered death from private hospital. He has
Pramod,
not
See,
understood.
they have been served notices. So when it is brought to the
So
notice of the
this
government,
this shows
when
Subhash Bab,
no, no,
inefficiency.
Subhash
This
Bab,
shows
are you
Subhash
talking
Bab,
about the
Amarnath,
government
this shows
hospitals? Is
this
Subhash
there
Bab,
shows
any
inef-
debts which are hidden in the government hospital when this government realize that such and such
this
things are happening, the strict
this
action
shows
is
that there
followed.
is no
no,
control.
Subhash Bab,
Absolutely,
Subhash
there
Bab,
is no
Amarnath,
control.
Subhash Bab, Amarnath, point is well taken. Rohan, final
Pramod,
comments.
quick
Rohan,
interjection.
yeah, I'll come to you, Rahul. Rohan, final comments. What very very clear. Do you think there is going to be a political fallout that can damage BJP in the upcoming assembly elections? Or you feel that 6 months is a long period of time, public memory is short, this is not going to have any impact on the elections?
Of the whole debate that we had, I was expecting Subhash to talk about how they are going to take their drive towards 100% vaccination. But that seems to be a distant dream because they don't even have a plan for it. Coming about talking about the 2022 elections, if you are given a free movie to see, you would see it once. If you had to buy a ticket and see the same movie another time, still maybe you would see it. But minute the movie is a flop movie, even if you're given money, would you like go and see a movie like that? Goa is become like the whole governance today has become like a movie where people have understood how they have flopped, and the result has been the lives of Goans. The issues which were taken up, that same arrogance can be seen today also in today's debate also, where instead of accepting and apologizing to the people of Goa, they are justifying the deaths, whether it is mismanagement of numbers or mismanagement of how the first wave to the second wave has come. We have the third wave coming in. And against the third wave, there are no preparations in terms of vaccinations going, the drive being made more aggressively. Neither are the Karyakartas seen, neither are the party MLAs seen, neither are anybody who would like to be proactive or seen, other than the chief minister and his few people who have become like one of the actors in a movie. And this movie has already flopped.
Okay.
No Goan is going to pay a ticket or even take a free show of this particular picture in 2022
Okay,
for
okay.
this
Ron,
particular
Ron,
people.
Ron, fair enough. Rahul, final comments. Do you think political fallout and whom will it benefit?
First of all, Pramod, I fail to understand why BJP spokesman is putting an argument between Goa and Maharashtra. I beg to ask him, is Pramod Sawant Chief Minister of Sawantwadi? We are more concerned about Goa and the fallouts in Goa itself, and he should focus to the Goa topic itself. About the vaccines also, what Rohan said. What's the plan for vaccination? Again, the compensation issue arises. Last year, if I may inform the audience, last year the government said they asked people to give flowers, all those thali bajao, ye bajao, sab. They announced compensation should be given to doctors, some salary, wage hike and all. It's not that a matter makes a difference to them, but it is the gratitude from the people of Goa. That announcement made by Pramod Sawant is still not put in place. It still remains on paper, more than 1 year now. Similarly, the compensation of 2 lakhs which the CM announced on 30th of May, that has not fructified so far. When is the date for that? And then the broad plan should be vaccination. We can't hear anything about that, just the utsav.
Okay.
I hate this term utsav in this crisis time. And the most important, each time the government talks softly, shut away this arrogance. They
Okay.
should shed this arrogance and talk. Malam lopak jata.
Yeah, Rahul, point well taken. Amarnath, final comments.
Yeah. See, this government, BJP government, has damaged the economy of Goa. They have damaged the health sector of Goa. They have damaged the confidence of Goans, and Goans are waiting to damage this BJP government and BJP party
Okay.
in upcoming elections.
Yeah. Subhash Bab, final comments. You have heard everybody. Do you think there will be a political fallout of this in 2022? Or you are saying by then, people are going to forget all this? Probably a third wave would have also come and gone by then. And your government
have
will
a
come out with flying
Pramod.
colors. How do you respond?
Pramod, they may have a fallout within their own party.
Okay.
The way things are
Pramod
going.
Bab.
Yeah. Subhash Bab, respond.
Pramod Bab,
Yeah.
let them dream whatever the way they want to dream it. We are into this service and we don't link when we conduct this service and we provide the infrastructure or we are coming out of the COVID. We don't relate this to election only because elections are approaching, and it's because of that we are putting up our services. We are never linking our services to elections. Anytime, if you look at, we are working all 5 years, not the last year. This is the last year of the election, but our process doesn't start in the last year. We are continuously working for the people, and people will realize it, whether we have come at the last moment. If you look at in any incident, whatever happens, or wherever, any collapse in the system, we run first, and people are aware about it. And why to wait? We will come to know in another 6 to 8 months time who is where.
Okay. Subhash Bab, Rohan, Amarnath, Rahul.
And
thanks
another
a lot
thing,
for joining.
I'll just reply to Rahul that why he's comparing again and again Delhi and Maharashtra. This was his question, because Delhi and Maharashtra, you are always insisting upon to follow the protocols made by the Delhi government, the arrangements made by Delhi government and the Maharashtra government. That is what I just wanted to expose
Okay,
their
Subhash,
facilities.
nothing
Rahul,
has been
Rahul, I'm completely out of time.
Unfortunately, nothing has
Rahul,
been
I'm,
done
Rahul,
because
I'm
it's much better
completely
position.
Rahul, I'm completely out of time. Subhash Bab, Amarnath, Rohan, Rahul, thanks a lot for joining. Keep watching. Go ahead.